You're listening to The Front Porch Show. Some shows are niche shows, talking about specific topics. Others, shows about nothing. This show is the show about everything. On The Front Porch Show, we'll talk about current events, some news, a little bit of politics, along with a whole lot of life. Welcome to our Front Porch. 1-402-799-1811 is our message line number. It's Ozzy and myself, Mathis, holding down the fort today.
Good morning, everybody.
Jeff is incognito. He was supposed to be here
Jeff,
like 10 minutes ago.
He is such come on, man. He's killing me. So he starts off, he's like, we got this or whatever. And all of a sudden he's like on the screen and then he's off the screen because he has to do an update or something with his computer. And then he starts sending us like all of these GIFs over text message that are actually just links to like URL links or whatever. He needs to we need a patron saint to like bring down money from God to give to Jeff to buy new technology.
Rain it down.
Oh, he is killing me, man. I don't get the whole text message thing where he sends us links, like URL links.
Oh, right. The GIFs as links. Right.
Right. I don't understand. That's like what my dad would do. You know what I'm saying? It's killing me.
Not that you need to throw your dad under the bus or anything.
No.
I
don't honestly think my dad knows how to do that. But if he did, that's exactly what would happen.
So in Jeff's defense, I run into this issue every once in a while. Okay. When we are running when I'm running Facebook on my phone, I refuse to have the app.
Right.
Just because it's bloatware. It's bloatware. I don't want the app. The app sits there. It like notifies you every time someone clicks on, and I don't want to be notified. I don't care.
Right. Thank you. I don't care that your story was updated.
Right. No one honestly, look.
I don't care.
Can we just go real boomer on this? No one actually cares.
Let's do it. Yes.
No one actually cares what you're thinking at this moment or what you're having for breakfast. Even though I will tell you later on in the show what I had for breakfast this morning.
I was going to say I have to correct you on that. That depends on the breakfast.
It does.
Sometimes, man, it can spark some ideas of like, holy cow!
Yes.
Never thought about doing that before. So the breakfast one I can see being beneficial. Oh, there goes Jeff again. He can't figure out his password.
He doesn't know the server password. Do we know the server password?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look here. This is the beauty of the Front Porch Show.
He's killing me. So while we just decided to start because Jeff's being slow. So while we were doing this, we were looking up computers for him, trying to figure out what to get him. I think he still honestly has his flip phone from college. I'm kind of doubting that he ever updated it. So maybe that's why we're still getting these weird URLs and stuff for text messages. Oh my goodness, Jeff might be back. Let's see. Somebody better warn him that we're on the air. Oh goodness.
So yeah, I'm trying to send him this password here. I think I got it. I sent him one or the other. I don't remember which one it is.
I don't know.
I'm looking here, and I can't. I don't think
that he knows we're actually on.
No, probably not.
Because I can still hear people in the background. So say hi to your grandma for us, Jeff. Or is that your wife? I can't.
So where is he today? He's not. Is he in his house? I don't know if he's in his house.
I'm not sure. The angle of the camera is kind of not flattering. I can see right up his nose. So
I know it's
trim
quite
the hairs there, buddy. From the hair.
Boomer problems. Hashtag boomer problems.
Luckily, he has headphones over the ear hair, else we could have some problems with that too.
He's going to be reporting in on a rough mic, which is a little challenging.
Yes.
So because obviously his computer died, and I mean what can you? I see. Jeff logged in.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. He's here. So I am not in the right channel, so hold on, Jeff. We're going to bring me down to the other channel. This is the beauty of, and now he's watching me move. No, Jeff, move back to the other one. There you go. Are you there, Jeff? Yeah, we can't.
Yes.
We can't hear you.
We're actually. I can hear him.
You can hear him?
Can you not hear him?
No, I can't hear him.
We're 5 minutes into the segment already, so
he's not muted on our video chat. So no, that's the wrong button.
Oh! I saw a washcloth. Jeff's doing dishes or something.
That's very different. So you know, this is the no, you still can't hear you, and I'm not bringing you on through a peer, otherwise it'll be funky. So you work that out. Work that out. This may be the most boomer-tastic intro we have ever seen. So you're actually not you should be.
Are you he must be in New York City because I think his shirt said he loves New York. So
I saw that. That's a little weird.
It is a little weird. Oh, there he goes. He's fading in and out.
Now this is the problem with wireless internet.
We may make it. We may make it.
He's about to kill us right now.
Yep.
Well, no, that's the wrong button.
So anyway,
we
got some great stories for you coming up here. The first one obviously is about Jeff being secretly a boomer. Maybe he's got like a Benjamin.
I don't know if it's secretly though. Like he kind of owns it.
I think you know what I think it is. I think it's the Benjamin Button thing. You know.
Oh.
And he's just like at that point in time where he just looks, you know, like a 30-year-old guy. I think that's exactly what it is. So he's, you know, we solved it. There it is.
There it is.
So somebody needs to let his wife know that he's actually like an 80-year-old man, because that could be kind of creepy. So,
So let's go to break quick early.
All right, let's
go to break quick early. Then we're gonna help. We're gonna help Jeff. We're gonna come back. We got some great stories. Got some Florida man stories, election stories. Ben's flexing his muscles, so we got to talk about the weight loss challenge, which is scary.
Weight loss.
All right, we'll be back, guys.
My favorite word is the word.
We got an issue in America. Too many good docs are getting out of business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
Back up, you creep.
And Bernie Sanders might run. Apparently, some folks really want to see a pot-smoking socialist in the White House. We could get a third Obama term after all.
So in the break, we were able to snag Jeff. Jeff's kind of freaking out watching the Vikings Lions game here.
It's actually a good game.
Yeah, what's your prediction though, Jeff? I mean,
what do you think my prediction is? The Lions will lose.
Okay.
My question is, could the Wolverines beat the Lions, or would the Lions win?
They'd find a way to tie.
So Jeff, thank you for bearing with us. We did have technical difficulties, obviously. This is all stemming from our technical difficulties last week, Jeff.
So just to be clear, when you couldn't hear me earlier, it was because the wire was unplugged. So I could actually be doing this through Mumble instead of calling in on the message line.
You could theoretically, yes.
If Aaron could get the wires.
If I could get the wires, you know. The problem is when the beams cross.
But you don't have them properly plugged.
Well, they are now. They're right now. They're correct now. But, you know, it's such a challenge. So last week during the show,
guys is a challenge.
Last week during the middle of the show, Jeff, and you missed it.
Can't even look at us.
we had one computer that started doing a Windows update in the middle of the show and dropped Ozzy like a sack of potatoes.
Oh,
well, I understand that.
And then all of a sudden we swap over to the other computer to pipe in his sonorous voice.
Yes,
and that dropped him as well. And so
it was extensive.
I'm picking up a trend here.
This was terrible.
And nothing was unplugged either.
No, nothing was unplugged. And so, like, frantically during the middle of the show last week, I'm literally pulling cables apart, tracing cables, trying to figure out what's going on. We ended up fixing a couple little things to make it sound better last week, which was excellent.
Yep.
Which was good.
Brilliant.
But yeah, we still have a lot of work to do.
Right.
Apparently.
But so
Well,
Jeff is here. His sound isn't perfect, but at least he's here.
And you know what? We have got some topics for you today, Jeff, because we got politics, which is neither anything me or Aaron like to talk about. So
it is, but I'm so frustrated with the technical difficulties that I just don't even feel like talking about anything.
So Jeff,
okay.
Jeff, let me pose this first question to you. Is it a shock to you, Jeff, that if she were to declare she's running right now, that this particular woman would be the front runner in the 2020 Democratic candidacy for president for the election of 2020? And that woman is Michelle Obama.
I would not be shocked if she instantly became the front runner. Actually, well,
I wouldn't either.
A couple months ago, I would have said that. I don't know now. There's so many rabid Uber lefties that I don't know. Like, if you're not, like, literally, Bernie is calling Elizabeth Warren a capitalist.
Which is for some reason an insult right now.
Isn't it hilarious?
Yeah, and thinks it's an insult.
Right.
So I don't even know if Michelle Obama could get any kind of.
I think just because of I don't know,
name recognition,
fame and prestige from Barack, that I think she, and just the way that she was. I mean, you have to admit, like, she was a very I guess reputable first lady.
No, everyone just instantly loved her.
Yeah, maybe infamous. I don't know, but she
infamous
had,
isn't right either.
Well, how about
infamous?
Infamous?
Is Bill Clinton.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. You mentioned Bernie a couple minutes ago. The squad is now backing Bernie.
Oh, here we go.
The squad. Should we? Can I make this joke on the air? Should we call them the Suicide Squad because they want to make all the sane people commit suicide, or like
complaints should be addressed to Tombstone at thefrontporchshow.com.
Exactly.
I mean, is Clinton part of the squad now? Because
Clinton is insanity.
Because you might have a thing with the Suicide Squad if Clinton was part of it.
I love how she lost last election, and she's threatening, like, if you don't shut up, I may jump back in. What? And do what? Lose again?
She's a glutton for pain.
Okay.
Tombstone sent us a note. Tombstone took his wife on a short vacation this week. That's why he's not here this week.
He has an excuse every week, and for some reason his excuses are legitimate, supposedly, and mine aren't.
Yours are work.
I don't understand.
Yours are work. You're like, I'm working.
Usually.
That's never legitimate.
That's never legitimate. Let's be honest about that.
No.
But Tombstone sends this article that says Hillary Clinton is claiming that Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian asset.
Yes.
What?
She is so insane. It's just ridiculous. I don't even know what to do with that.
I don't even know where to go with that. Like it's not even. It's so bizarre. It says, and I quote, Clinton says, they are also going to do third party again, talking about Jill Stein of the Green Party. I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who is currently in the Democratic Party and are grooming her to be the third party candidate, talking about Gabbard. She's a favorite of the Russians, and they have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far.
What?
That's assuming Jill Stein will give up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
I was gonna say,
what?
Why do we care?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if Jill Stein was a Russian asset because the Green Party is just nuts. But it's just become a total joke, I guess. Like if your opponent is automatically a Russian asset, the Russians are probably like, we haven't been screwing with you guys for 2.5 years. You guys just are, jumping at shadows at this point.
I think the Russians have become like the Nazis of the 2000s and stuff, because it used to be like, oh, the Nazis are influencing everything and anything and blah, 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 blah. The Nazis. And now it's like, we got to have somebody new. The Russians, everybody's in cahoots with the Russians. And
that was a little different. It was, if you're my opponent, you're automatically a Nazi. It wasn't that the Nazis were influencing you. It's just that I'm going to call you a Nazi.
So the Nazis have become racist now. Oh wait, they were.
So now you're a Russian. Now you're a Nazi and a Russian asset and a racist.
Right.
Whoa, it's getting deep now.
That's a lot we're throwing down there.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to start bringing a list with me.
I guess I'm getting sick and tired of everyone being called a Russian. Being called like everyone's now a Russian. If you don't agree with Clinton, if you don't agree with anyone, you're automatically a Russian.
And let's be realistic. Are the Russians that bad? Like, every Russian that I actually know, and I do know a couple, are actually like hilariously awesome.
Well, I think when they're talking about the Russians, I think they're referring to the Russian government. So
that would be.
Oh,
but so here's my question though, and it's not exactly along the lines of this, but what is the libertarian fascination with Tulsi?
Oh, that's bizarre.
A leftist. But all these libertarians are all like, oh, Tulsi Gabbard, she's basically a libertarian. And I'm like, what? Because occasionally she's come out and been against some wars or something. So like that automatically makes
all of a sudden, because she's a non-interventionalist, she's a libertarian.
Yeah, even
like,
though
whoa.
Like big government everywhere.
Big government. She wants to pay off student loans. She wants to up taxes. She wants to.
By that token, Trump's a libertarian too.
Right,
right. Because he's mostly non-interventionist.
Look at the Libertarian Party and tell me that they don't think that already, or at least some of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so, I don't know. There's weirdness going on Facebook right now with them. That's for sure.
Well, look, there's a reason I left the Libertarian Party.
I'm telling you, man.
They're nuts. They're absolutely insane. And so
they have a few good principles that really are also the foundational principles of constitutional conservative, if you want to call it classical liberalism. And then they're just off their rocker on everything else. So
no, you're absolutely right. Tulsi came out and hit back at Hillary Clinton. Great. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. You, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption, and the personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long, have finally come out from behind the curtain.
This is like WWE SmackDown right here. That is exactly what that is. It's just like these
are verified
slapped her in the face and she just
these are verified tweets. I'm on Tulsi Gabbard. I follow her. This is Tulsi Gabbard's Twitter page. She continues, from the day I announced my candidacy, there has been a concerted campaign to destroy my reputation. We wondered who was behind it and why. Now we know. It's always been you through your proxies and powerful allies in the corporate media and war machine. We're afraid that I posed a threat. Now it's clear this primary is between you and me. Don't cowardly hide behind your proxies. Join the race directly.
You know, this sounds an awful lot like some tweets that a current president tweets out all the time.
Right.
That's what I find is ironic. And because it's Tulsi Gabbard, it's okay.
Not violent evil.
Right. Right.
Everyone's like, look, she's cute. She's from Hawaii. And that is the reason.
Donald from Queens.
And she's not Donald from Queens.
So the thing is, though, I mean, Tulsi's she must have some good security or something, because you don't usually put the Clintons on blast like that without like committing suicide by shooting yourself in the back of the head 3 times. You know, like
right.
No, I'm telling you, she's throwing herself out there, and it's ridiculous.
Or hanging yourself in a maximum security prison with a paper thin sheet when the cameras malfunctioned and the guards fell asleep and your roommate wasn't there.
Right. You're solid on that.
Even if you do have a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress.
So
that's the reason you'd want to hang yourself.
You, apparently.
So only two Democratic candidates came out in support of Tulsi over the whole Clinton thing. One being America's grandma.
Oh,
Marianne Williamson.
Who's America's grandma?
Marianne Williamson.
Williamson.
What in the world?
Yeah.
The Democratic establishment has got to stop smearing women it finds inconvenient. The character assassination of women who don't toe that party line will backfire. Stay strong, Tulsi Gabbard. You deserve respect, and you have mine.
I can't disagree with her on that per se, but I don't think that it's specifically just women. I think that there's a lot of smearing going around.
You have to pick a marginalized group to identify with and fight for. It's the oppression Olympics, man. You've got to see how many marginalization sectors you fit in.
So I think it's very interesting because the other one who came out in favor of Tulsi Gabbard was Andrew Yang, Tombstone's bromance,
Tombstone's man crush.
Yes, and he came out in support of her, but she didn't retweet his tweet, and so that makes me think that she thinks him as competition right now. Whereas Marianne Williamson is a nobody.
Well, we know Marianne Williamson is not competition, but is Andrew Yang really competition, and is Tulsi Gabbard really competition?
Probably not.
Is anybody competition for anything? We all know it's going to come down to Bernie and Elizabeth Warren and Biden.
Maybe.
Is Biden going to make it that far?
My vote's on Warren. I'm not actually going to vote for her,
but Warren's got it.
I think Warren's going in it.
You heard it here. Hobby's vote for Warren.
For example, the first thing that we make now, instead of a cuckoo clock, see, this is a poo-poo clock. And what we did see is we took them turds and we crammed them in between the number there, so that's 130, 230, 330. The turds are all local. We just go out and track the moose, and wherever the moose are, they're going to take a crap. And I have found that when a moose takes a dump, you walk about 50 yards in any direction and they take another dump. And when a moose takes a dump, they'll crap out between 200 and 400 turds every time they take a crap. So it's like I get $5 a turd for these things. So I get jumping right up and down. I get excited when I see a turd.
I want to thank you guys for...
So she must love the Democratic debate. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yes.
It's a whole bunch of turds. Now, I want to thank you guys for postponing and recording on a different day this week. Normally we record Saturday mornings. And we're actually recording, obviously, Sunday afternoon.
I'm getting paid double.
That's right. That's right. Time and a half. And so, thank you guys. Alyssa planned a short mini vacation because I wasn't able to take the boys camping this year.
Oh, I went camping last week.
Yeah, and so we took the boys down to Lincoln, Nebraska, for a couple days. We went to a concert Friday night. We went to. On Friday morning, we got up. We hit a local diner because we don't have any local diners in the Norfolk area.
That is so strange.
I know, man. I know.
We have like 5 or 6 within about an 8-mile radius.
We need diners. That's what we need. We need diners. The world needs more diners.
Maybe like a 4-mile radius.
And so,
the South doesn't have them either, but the Midwest has got them. I mean, did you have them in Georgia, Osmond?
Not so much diners as much as just local restaurants. Like we had a lot of barbecue places in Georgia.
Yeah.
See,
so,
that's what when we lived in the South,
not really like diners because we have Waffle House. So
Coney, but see, that's not the same thing. Still, like the Coney Islands up here, man. Those are the diners in our area. Oh, and it's amazing.
See, like we have them in the Midwest. We just don't have them in. We just don't have them in Norfolk. In the local town.
This is the $1 million idea.
I know.
Seriously.
People keep telling me I need to open a restaurant, but I've got too many ideas.
You could call it the Front Porch Show Diner.
Right. There you go.
Ooh,
hey.
Live shows.
Now I've known other shows that have opened restaurants and they've failed miserably, so I'm a little bit nervous of this.
People.
So from there we went over to the Natural History Museum. And we checked out all 4 floors in record time. Of course, with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, it was amazing.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. And then we went over. We stood in Husker Stadium, which was awesome.
That's cool.
And so we were able to. The kids were able to stand like right on the end zone, kind of, and look out across the stadium. And Trevor is my football lover. 2 years old. He screams when he sees football on TV, and just like
awesome.
literally starts shaking because he loves it so much.
Oh, he knows my feeling then. I usually scream and shake when I'm watching football from my home state.
Right.
You're excited.
But that's because they're losing. And so,
or getting hosed, one or the other.
After that, we did a drive-through wildlife safari. And then
that's cool. Did you shoot anything
Lincoln?
while you were doing that?
I wish we did. No, Ashland.
That's in
Yeah. So there's elk and bison and wolves and stuff. And
so we're secretly going to be going hunting next weekend there, right?
maybe.
Daddy brought home an elk. Where did you get this?
And so that was really cool. And where else did we go? Oh, dinner was a wood-fired grill place.
Ooh.
Where like everything was wood-fired.
That sounds amazing.
It was delicious.
What type of everything are we
so
talking
like
about?
We had as an appetizer we got a pizza.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I got for dinner a Cajun blackened chicken breast.
Ooh.
That was cooked over wood.
Amazing.
With a Cajun cream sauce over that. It was super spicy, it was delicious.
Ooh.
Loved every second of it.
I could dig that.
Trevor had noodles, mac and cheese. That's his thing. Noodles.
Kids are the worst.
Like I asked him,
really good restaurants, and they're like
I
we
know.
went to Chili's once, and my kids ordered pizza from
mac
Chili's.
And cheese? That's the question.
Yeah. So the adult portions were fired over the wood fire.
Was it?
The kids weren't,
sad.
Unfortunately.
Was it just like regular like Kraft?
No.
Mac and cheese?
This was good mac and cheese. This was solid mac and cheese.
Okay. So it was like they made it at the restaurant or had
right.
Their own
Oh
restaurant.
yeah. It was good. It was good stuff. And so he had noodles, and and so Myron got another pizza because
nice.
Got to have pizza.
Baby.
Got to have pizza. More pizza.
Yeah.
And it was good pizza too.
Pizza.
Good pizza.
I can dig pizza.
After that, we went over to an observatory and actually got to see Saturn and Jupiter.
That's cool.
And I didn't know you could see the rings on Saturn.
Like you could actually see them?
Yes.
Through the
yes.
I almost
I
said
was going to say
telescope.
not with like
yeah, through the telescope. Like so you see the dot of Saturn, right?
Yep.
You see the dot, and then you see the ring around it.
Yeah,
and it's so bizarre.
It has rings. It's had rings for a long time.
It's actually just a little like painting on the end of the glass. They like twist it through. It's
and so Jupiter, you could see 4 moons on Jupiter. 4 moons on the sides of Jupiter.
Did they crash?
What?
Could
no.
you see
like
the
4
big
moons
red
around
spot?
it. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm staring at the picture, right? I'm not staring at the picture. I'm looking in the telescope, right? Yeah.
Sure. I knew
and so I asked the guy. I'm staring at it, and I'm like, "So, man, I see different color variations here in the telescope."
Right.
And he goes, "Oh yeah." He's like, a lot of people. He goes, a lot of people can't see those, but those are the color bands of the clouds on Jupiter. You can actually make out the darker color bands.
That's cool.
Nice.
I was like, I never knew. It's so bizarre.
Cool.
So
that's cool.
The best.
When you needed to look at a different planet, did they turn the telescope or did they just switch the picture?
They just switched the picture.
They rotate the disc,
yeah.
What were those things? Where
it's like the transparency slides. They just slap the rings over it. Yeah.
Next photo.
So no, that was an absolute blast. The boys love that. Even Trevor got into it. But the best part of the weekend was Friday night when we took the boys to their first concert, or first Rend Collective concert. Now, I gotta set the stage. A lot of our listeners know who Rend Collective is. They're the Irish worship band, I guess.
You guys went and saw them like 6 months ago?
Yeah, we saw them about a year ago, and we decided to take the boys this time because it's not a show. It's just a church full of people just worshiping. And it's the mood, the atmosphere is just so amazing that we really wanted the boys to enjoy it and experience it. And so, absolutely amazing concert. But halfway through the concert, and I don't even want to call it a concert. Halfway through the worship time, the lights go down. The light? Okay. No, it's not. It's not.
It's okay.
Okay. Maybe it is just a little bit. And so the lights go down, and the drummer, who's the lead of the band, comes down, and he preaches. Absolutely awesome message. He preached about the prodigal son, and was really laying out, that if anyone in the congregation that night, doesn't know Jesus, if any of their friends, tricked him into coming, they are more than welcome to accept Christ, and it was just a great time. And so it gets to this super, super serious moment, and the guy standing there and he goes, "Does anyone want to respond to the call of Jesus on their lives tonight?" And Myron's sitting next to me, and we're like up we're not balcony, but we're kind of on a ramp heading up the stairs, and we're probably 20, 30 rows back. And at the top of his lungs, dead silence, you could hear a pin drop. Guy goes, "Does anyone else want to respond to Jesus in their lives?" And he goes, "I don't think so." And I'm like, oh shoot. And so get this.
We know how the spiritual tone of the Mathis household is here.
Not looking good. Not looking good. And so everyone around us has already met Myron, because that's what he does. That's what he does. He introduces himself to everyone. Everyone knows him already.
This is great.
And they're dying laughing. And then the guy up on stage asks the same question again.
Oh no.
No.
And Myron screams again. "Nope, still don't think so." And I'm like,
Have you not reached him and clamped your hand over his mouth
I
yet?
tried. Dude, the kid squirms. And everyone loses it.
That's great.
I'm like, oh man, that is totally.
Just get on with the concert already.
I know, right? I'm like, just sing another song. Save me.
That's great.
Oh man, so
Great.
kids,
That's
man,
great.
kids, I love them.
But
man, they'll throw you. Mama was bright red, I tell you. It was a riot.
I bet.
That's amazing.
They cut my beard and forced me to eat it.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
That's a fair description of the show.
And fish can coexist peacefully.
Who else in the level car say yeah?
Woo! We're back. It's Jeff. It's Ozzy. It is I, Mathis. We're Tombstone-less, but that's okay.
As usual.
Wait, whoa.
He hasn't been on in like a month.
He hasn't been on in 2 weeks.
I am on more often than Tombstone is at this point, and that's saying something.
That's because you're on today.
Yeah. It's like...
Yes, but hey. And like 2 weeks ago, it was just me and Mathis holding down the fort.
It was. That was a fun show.
Yeah.
That was a fun show.
Yeah.
And Tombstone was gone that week because he was getting a boat, right? Was that the boat week? I don't remember.
He's had a lot of excuses the last couple weeks.
Last week he was in Colombia.
He was in Colombia. He was getting a boat. He was out on the lake with his family. He's always got an excuse.
And you just working.
I just work. I owe my soul to the company store.
Isn't that a song? I think it is. Okay, I knew it.
Yep. We're gonna be
guys.
Thanks
Chick-fil-A opened its first store in the United Kingdom on October the 10th. Chick-fil-A
so
is going international.
They are so blessed.
Or is it?
They're also closing down within 6 months.
Why is that?
Because what?
Go ahead. I was going to ask a question, but it sounds like you might be about to answer it.
No, yeah. So it turns out that Oracle Mall in Reading is where the location is in the UK. I don't know where Reading, UK is. I mean, is it England? I assume it's England.
Either.
I mean, we can hunt them down and figure out where it is, just like we found out where the what's the donut place? No, Krispy Kreme.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
So this is located just outside of London, in Reading. It's probably Reading. That sounds more English.
Sure.
Anyways, LGBTQ protesters have been holding protests outside the new location, denouncing the company's opposition to same-sex marriage.
Heaven forbid.
And so a mall spokesman, and this is the thing right here. A mall spokesperson said that the company would not be allowed to stay beyond its initial 6-month pilot period, calling it the quote right thing to do. Now, do you want to know the irony of this?
So the mall shut them down.
Yes.
You want me to tell you what's going to happen here?
Yes.
Here,
go ahead.
Let me tell you
Ozzy's going to predict.
All right. So this actually happened. A similar thing to this actually happened at our mall up in Mays Landing.
Okay.
Different circumstances, but essentially Chick-fil-A opens up in malls. That's how they get into places.
Right.
So they opened up in the mall up near us. This was like, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. It was before my time coming here. But they would not let them stay because they refused to be open on Sunday.
Yep.
And so they essentially kicked them out of the mall. What Chick-fil-A did is they went 2 miles down the road, built a Chick-fil-A restaurant,
right,
and are blowing everybody out of the water.
Right.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. I predict they will open up they'll open up another location. Right. So get this. Want to know who is the major stockholder in the company that owns the mall?
Hillary Clinton.
No.
Oh.
Think more hostile to the LGBT community than Chick-fil-A ever has been.
Are they Nazis?
Think Middle East.
Somebody in Dubai or something.
Think United Arab Emirates and the royal family.
Oh.
They own the mall.
Brilliant.
And yet the Reading Pride is going after Chick-fil-A? Yet United Arab Emirates kills people?
Yeah, but nobody recognizes that.
Facts don't matter.
Frustrating.
Do.
Yep.
So flaming frustrating.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I see what you did there.
That pun was not intended, by the way.
But was appreciated.
No, you're welcome. I'm here to look. Sometimes magic just happens. And on the front porch show,
you're supposed to say my privilege, or is it my pleasure?
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
You haven't been there. You haven't been there very often, have you?
My privilege was a different place I worked. That's what they said on the phone to try to copy Chick-fil-A.
That's ridiculous.
That's kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
Now I kind of don't want to know where it is, but
all right. So anyway, they're going to be
So continuing on that vein, Brexit, guys, Brexit.
Is that still going on?
2 years ago now? Britain voted to leave?
Didn't they Brexit already?
No.
Haven't we Brexited yet?
No.
They're like that annoying family member that keeps saying they're going to leave and then doesn't leave. Oh, it's time for us to go.
And the world is like, bye, Felicia, and they still don't leave?
Right. You throw out their tea over the side of a boat and they don't leave.
I know.
Finally, you have to have a war.
Right. So finally Boris Johnson meets with EU.
That dude's got Donald Trump definitely squared away.
He's channeling him.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah,
there should be
someone's here's a look for you. crazy guy from Queens.
You know, it really must be. They must have like the same person do their hair. Because, like, what is it with crazy, powerful guys with their crazy hair? Like,
it's a good question.
They called him up and they were like, "Who's your stylist? Who's your stylist? I need his number. Send him to
I
the
need
UK."
Donald from Queens. Yeah, I need his stylist, please.
So Boris Johnson goes to the EU. He negotiates a leaving, or what do you call that? An exit for Britain.
Wow.
Negotiates.
You could call it a
Brexit. And so he negotiates all that, right? Takes it back to the House of Parliament, and they deny the plan because they don't think it takes into consideration the what would you call it? The
welfare.
Right, the welfare of the Britons when it comes to leaving.
It's gonna be tough no matter, like, there's gonna be a little bit of pain when you pull out of this ridiculous giant governmental nightmare that you're stuck in. So why don't you just suck it up, accept it's gonna hurt, and do it?
Right, rip the Band-Aid, get out, and then figure it out after it's done. That's what I do, but that's very American of us. Let's just be honest about it.
It worked, too.
And we're bad at doing it, too.
I mean, it worked with Britain.
Anymore.
Oh, well, it's really quite funny. I was in bed sleeping at 2 o'clock this morning. My wife comes in and says, "Oh, the shop's been, someone ran into the shop." And I said, "Oh, what?" So I jumped out of bed and all I had was my undies on, and I've walked out the front and I've seen the car smashed, and I've seen the bloke walking back to the car. Oh, well, I tried stopping him and say, "Hey, mate, don't be taking off, like, you've just crashed into the shop." Oh, he goes, "Oh, mate, I fell asleep behind the wheel." And I'm like, "Yeah, righto, mate. Well, you still don't be fleeing the scene." And he goes, "Don't be a hero, mate." I wasn't trying to be a hero. I was just chasing down the street. And
you ran down the street in your jocks?
Yeah, in my undies. Yeah, correct. Chasing down the street in my undies, and then he started getting too far, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I better catch up to him quicker and come back home and got my car." And started chasing him up the street in my little purple car.
You know, all good superheroes wear their jocks on the outside, so it kind of fits the brief, pardon the pun.
Yeah, but I had nothing on bar me jocks.
Guys, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at a picture of a guy glued to the top of an airplane?
All right, here we go. So,
well, look, these economy seats are just getting out of control.
I mean, let's be honest, that's a lot more roomy.
All your questions will be answered. All right, here we go.
I don't think all of them are, because I have a list. I have a list of questions.
Great. Here we go. So the Extinction Rebellion people in England, right, that were eating the hamburgers last week.
Oh, in the McDonald's.
Right. So they moved on to shutting down airplanes and airports and stuff like that. So they've done a bunch of random things. They've climbed on a bunch of stuff at airports. They've blocked gates. And apparently their new thing is they're gluing themselves to things.
Okay.
And
if they're going to be put on that airplane, they've got to be listed in the parts list for the airplane. That's I don't know about in England, but that's an FAA thing. So
you're onto something.
So this man, James Brown, who is apparently a Paralympic cyclist.
Well, hold on. So does that mean he can't walk?
I don't know.
That's actually a good question.
How did he get on top of the airplane?
I don't know. I would assume. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know. I don't know what his handicap is.
It's actually a really good question. How he was because you're right. It says he was a Paralympic cyclist.
So that's my first question. My first question is, how did he get on top of the airplane? Because that's amazing.
I don't know. Anyway,
so it says in the article. So he bought as far as they could tell in the article, he bought a ticket, went out to the plane. They were boarding the plane from a hard stand. You know, if you've ever had to go up actual stairs instead of come down the jet bridge. So he goes up the stairs, and then apparently it says at the top of the stairs, he throws himself on top of the airplane. Now, how you accomplish that
I mean, are we talking like?
It's not that high. Come on, it's not that huge of an airplane.
Yeah, but it's a jump. It's like 8 feet from the stair car to the top of the airplane, right? 6 feet?
No, come on, it's not that high.
The door is probably only about
6.5 foot. Yeah,
yeah, but then but I'm saying from your feet stop on the ground.
You get on the rail right
but
there.
There's
just
nothing
get on the rail and then hop up there. Listen,
now in the picture, in the picture, there is a large railing on the stairs that is definitely would have aided in him jumping up
right
there.
Up on the door. My guess is he climbed up on the door, like got a grip on
the
door.
But we're bypassing the whole point that he's a para-Olympian.
Yeah, that's the part I haven't figured out yet.
I don't know.
Maybe his amazing upper body strength.
Maybe
he just identified as paralyzed for the Olympic. Of course.
Okay, guys, here's my other thing.
What's going on?
Maybe he's got a fake leg or something.
If you're truly dedicated to this whole thing of gluing yourself to stuff, I'm going to suggest no clothes.
Well, okay. Listen. You need to stop. Okay, we got to go through this because you're getting ahead of me here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So the dude glues himself to the top of this thing, right?
Because all I'm thinking is cops could show up and drag him off, pull him out of his clothes, and get him off the airplane. Toss on a little bit of Dawn dish soap, wash off the glue, airplane on its way.
Right. So I'm assuming that he glued his hand to it or something like that. Anyway, so he's on top of this airplane.
So he didn't actually glue his body to it? He just glued his...
The guy, I don't know if it's...
This is not dedication. This is not dedication.
So he's on top of this airplane, and apparently when he got on top of the airplane, the man is afraid of heights. So he starts freaking out. So he starts freaking out, and he says he was bleeping himself as he was scared of heights. And then he was thankful that the police were on their way so that it could be over because he was scared. So
typical. So typical.
So yeah.
I'm glad the police are here to save me from being an idiot.
Yeah. Well, it says, okay, here we go. You ready? Later, he noted the security as security was approaching. He said, "Oh, good, security are coming. I hope they don't take too long because this is effing scary." So, so if you're gonna do that, number one, don't be afraid of heights. Probably not a good idea. I mean, it's not that high, but probably not a good idea to be on top of a cylinder and potentially, fall 20 feet to your doom onto concrete.
I mean, what if the glue didn't stick and he just slid off the other side?
Exactly.
I mean, it would have been terrible.
Hilarious.
So here's the other part of this. So what happened was Popular Mechanics has picked up on this story, which is the other link that I had, and has gone through and scientifically figured out if you're going to glue yourself to the top of an airplane, here's how you do it.
Thank you.
Gives you some suggestions.
Thank you, Popular Mechanics.
for what to consider.
Thank you so much.
Did you look at the stuff? So you've got the title and then the subtitle. So the article's title is "How to Glue Yourself to an Airplane According to Science," and then the subtitle is "A Protester Did It. We Can Do It Better."
Yes,
it's true. It's true.
So some of the things you got to take in consideration are make sure that you know the physics. And from what I can tell in this article, they're actually taking it from the perspective that you're going to be on top of the plane while it's flying. So depending on so you need to master the physics, make sure that you have it down. You got to be able to treat the surface of the airplane to make sure that it's clean. So you have good adhesion, that it goes into, nail the chemistry, which is, talking about how much shear strength there's going to be.
Right.
So you got 1 square inch can support about 100 pounds, depending on, what you have for like your typical Elmer's glue.
They're saying get the most body square inches, in contact.
How much, fail of 99% of the bond fails 99% of the time because of these certain criteria. And then they go, then you got to pick the right sticky stuff. So this is making sure that you get the right type of glue. It's just hilarious. I think it's amazing. I've never seen something like this from Popular Mechanics.
Okay, can you imagine?
I love it.
Like if you were successful and got all this to work, right? Can you imagine how much it would hurt?
Oh my gosh.
Like flying along at 400 miles an hour with your skin sticking to the skin of the aircraft, and like it's literally pulling you away. You're gone. Your skin does not have that.
Well,
your skin doesn't have that much tensile strength.
If you go to any kind of altitude, you'd pass out. Though.
Well, right.
Can you imagine just not even taking off? Can you imagine getting you off of the airplane? Because obviously they're not going to take off with you unless somebody else is flying.
Because have you ever gotten your fingers stuck together accidentally with super glue before?
Right.
Like,
No, it's normally on purpose.
Like rip them to shreds, man. You're going to be glued, like full surface area glued to this thing. It also gets
they're just out there with like flat shovels scraping him off. Some of the stuff stuck to the top of the plane.
Some of the stuff they talk about is, whether or not, you need to determine what type of adhesion you're going to get with. Is it going to be cotton? Is it going to be skin against metal? Is it going to be
right? Great. Because that does make a big difference.
Absolutely. So anyway, so some advice for the protesters. Check out Popular Mechanics. Maybe you'll go a little further next time. But again, don't be scared of heights. Bad idea.
So he is. By the way, I did a little bit of reading on the other side. It turns out that they have arrested 1,200 people at the airport in the last 4 days, 5 days.
They're going crazy.
I mean, and they're fueling up at McDonald's. So good for McDonald's. I mean, they're making money.
Here's the thing, guys.
I wonder how
with
the
people
McDonald's
like this in society. Maybe we deserve extinction.
Well, yeah. Darwin may have been right on some things.
Yeah.
Darwin Awards, baby.
Are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Barkin? We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah!
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT.
Yeah, show some. I was actually muted there, guys. Sorry.
I swear, I think you said Fred Aretha.
My Fred Aretha.
Fred Aretha.
I don't know.
Did you just say Fred Urethra?
I may have. I love you guys.
I can't even.
We're a wreck. We're an absolute wreck.
I can't even right now.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Where are we going with this?
Okay,
something to do with urethra.
So Tombstone stumbled across an article this week and posted it over to the page. This is out
why does Tombstone pick controversial articles
and then not show up
to us and then not show up?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh wait, I think I just explained why.
Oh yeah, I see what you did there.
It's smart.
Yep.
So
right, go do it.
So I believe this is up in Madison, Wisconsin, guys. And this is from the West High School, and a black security guard was fired after telling a student who called him the N-word not to use the slur, and he repeated the word itself. Why was he fired? Why was he fired?
Wait, what?
So student calls security guard the N-word. Security guard says, "Hey, don't call me an N-word." Security guard's fired.
That's right. Why?
Why?
Zero tolerance, guys. Zero tolerance policy when it comes to language.
So does that mean that the child got expelled from school?
Well, no. Why would that happen, guys?
Because it's zero tolerance.
Well, but it's a student. You can't.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You can fire a student.
Tolerance.
It's called expulsion.
No. But I'm saying that's why like you can have like a 5-year-old bring a butter knife to school, and he gets like he gets suspended for like 4 or 5 days. So zero tolerance.
So the slur can result in out of school suspension of 1 to 5 days, but apparently for staff member they're completely fired. Even though he's saying, "Don't call me that."
Interesting.
So I guess their argument is he should have said it, "Don't call me that," versus "Don't call me," and repeating the word.
Right, exactly. Had he not said it, it would have been fine.
That's terrible.
Just stupid.
That is stupid.
This comes back to my whole thing that
where do the parents come in?
Well, right. But this comes back down to zero tolerance.
This is ridiculous.
Zero tolerance is laziness through and through. Zero tolerance is lazy leadership. It's when you don't want to actually do something, and when you don't actually want to have to enforce rules and actually use wisdom.
No. I don't know that you're completely on the right track. It's not that you don't want to enforce rules. It's that you don't want to do the hard part of parsing.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Explaining. Like you don't want to have to defend your decision to enforce here or not enforce there. You're so afraid. You're so afraid of this parent crying about this and this one not crying about that you're like, we're just going to punish everybody for everything, essentially, so that I don't have to show discernment.
That's the thing. It's laziness. It's absolute laziness. I want nothing to do with it. It ticks me off to no end.
And yet in this,
that's crazy.
In this like era where parents freak out about stuff, it's in some ways a defense mechanism though too, right? Because now in this very litigious and annoying era where we can come after you for everything and we can say you were targeting my son or daughter for this reason, whatever. If you can point to a zero tolerance policy, then you can say it's out of my hands. I had to because the policy.
Right.
But it's because there's a policy there, though.
It's also a cover your butt move by most institutions. I don't agree with it, but that's why they go to it.
Right. That's exactly what it is. It's the easy way out of doing it.
Yes.
It's saying, you know what? Since everybody's having so much, and I think it's because of all of these stupid controversies that you've had, where the parents come after the school about everything. You know what I mean? It's your fault my child is failing. It's your fault my child is this and this and this and this, and because you're not doing anything. But on the parents, it's the parents wanting to blame somebody else for their failures because they're not doing what they need to, like being home with their kids or, not. Anyway.
Guys, I never went to public school. I don't think you guys went to public school either.
No.
Had I said anything disparaging to a teacher that was anything close to that,
my parents would have killed me.
I would have gotten home and my parents would have cuffed the fire out of me. I would have been done.
Yep.
I would have been done. I wouldn't have been able to feel my ears or my backside for a month.
Yep. And then the next thing, they would have dragged me to school.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
would have apologized to that person.
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And probably would have had to clean their car for the next 5 years.
Yep.
It would have been over.
Yeah.
I drove school bus for 5, 6, 7 months. Couldn't take any more of it.
Oh, you're a brave man.
I was. I needed a job. I really needed a job. My dad happened to be teaching the school bus driving course. And so he was able to give it to me for the cool deal of $0, and which was nice. And so he pushed.
We got a little bit of nepotism going on.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And so anyway, I took this course, started driving school bus. I'm 21 years old. Yeah, 21 years old, driving a school bus. And
very brave.
They put me because of my dad's reputation. They assigned me to the worst school district they drove in.
So they hated your dad?
No, because they thought that I would be an authoritarian like him, and run a tight ship on the bus.
Instead, they got a
libertarian.
Know you're
not.
Well, no, I was pretty mean. I was pretty mean to those kids. But you know, when the first one calls you, you know, yeah,
we don't.
when the first kid gets on the bus and calls you a variation of the name Richard, and it's like, are you kidding? Like, you're in junior high. And she walks past and she's
maybe Vice President Cheney's first name.
And I'm like, find your seats, guys. And like the girl, like 15, 14, 13, 14, 15 years old is like, stop being and I'm like, what the heck? Anyways, they were pretty rough kids. They had like 3 bus drivers quit on them.
So this was like a Christian school?
No. Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
No, this wasn't.
Did you call your congressman?
Oh, of course not. I dealt with the kids. I wrote them all up.
Sanders?
I wrote up all the kids, guys.
Bernie didn't help you out there?
Anyways, it'll be interesting to see where that story goes with the N-word and the guy.
That's crazy.
Before we head to break, though, guys, I'm gonna just bring this up. Not going to talk long about it because it's a disturbing story.
Brother,
over in,
you always do this?
I know.
Zinger it right
over in England, guys.
Uh-oh.
They're teaching elementary school girls how to pole dance.
And that's why we can't.
I mean,
Brexit.
it could be. Nope, I can't come up with any logical reason.
I don't even want to touch this with the 10-foot pole.
That was good.
Oh, man.
Is that what Mathis is using for his workout for the weight loss competition this morning?
No, I'm not.
But you know.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes as well. They're defining it over in England as a sport. And yeah, it's a sport.
Wait, so we could have.
Is this going to be in the Olympics? Yeah,
we could technically have Olympic pole dancing. So their argument is that pole dancing never became sexualized until the early 1900s, and before that it was more of an athletic event. Like,
I don't know that this is a subject I would like to Google because I'm terrified of the
so I guess India.
A really hard thing to
interesting though.
Yeah.
If it was originally more of like a trapeze artist type of thing.
So India, it was Asia. India and China were big on using poles in acrobatics.
Isn't this the whole context argument or not
yes.
context argument where it's like, oh, well, what it means now is different than what it used to be, but that makes it bad now.
I think my biggest issue here is you've got, I'm looking at this picture here. These three students, ages 8, 11, and I assume one of them's 8 and the other's 11 as well.
You need to stop talking. There's going to be.
I know. No. Look, guys, these little kids are wearing like shorts and halter tops. Okay, it is really.
So that's like a trip to the mall.
Guys, it's just.
Have you seen how people dress their kids these days?
That's my point as well. My point is that kids are being overly sexualized.
I just sounded like a real boomer.
I know.
Have you seen how kids dress their kids these days?
Look. I've said this before on the show. I have no problem what people choose to do in their personal lives. But when they get kids out there and they're sexualizing kids, I have a big issue with that.
Yeah,
that's
why I don't like the Toddlers and Tiaras show.
Man, yeah,
I hate that stuff.
Little
that is so
kid
crazy.
Beauty pageants.
Gosh, what is wrong with people?
Not to mention, even if it doesn't sexualize them, just the whole like mentality of like you're better. Like,
it's terrible.
I don't know. Just the whole emphasis on like.
It's terrible.
I don't know. Go play sports.
The whole thing is terrible. Yeah. It's like, why can't you play football or I'll even acquiesce to soccer. Go play soccer.
Just let the kids be kids.
Soccer is the beautiful game.
I wonder why they're all messed up when they're teenagers.
It's because they're pole dancing.
Must have been a bad batch around here because Floyd counties went crazy in the last 4 days. When I finally got down here to the house to look to see what happened, the door was standing wide open. It looked like he was packing up for a yard sale when he come out. He was lying, throwing his hands, saying stuff like, I didn't do it, you know how rogues do, and blaming on everybody else. He did pull a gun on me when I got back around the house because I guess he thought I was upset with him. Who steals a cheese grater? He's got the words, Lysol. He stole an empty bottle of spray. What got me the most was my soap. He stole my soap. Who steals soap?
Guys, we got a super, super weird story out of the Netherlands. I almost said out of Dutch. Out of the Netherlands. A Dutch family ended up living for 9 years in a basement on a farm, waiting for the end of time.
What?
They were discovered after a 25-year-old man raised suspicion at a local pub. They found 6 children aged 16 through 25 who had been stuck in a basement in a home for the last 9 years.
Oh my gosh.
This is in Runervold in the region of Drenthe.
Wasn't there a movie where they had they were stuck in a nuclear shelter for however long?
Yeah, that was a blast from the past. That was a great movie with Brendan Fraser and Christopher Walken.
Right.
And what's her name?
I have no idea. I just
Lily Tom. No, not Lily Tom. I
remember
forget
the plot, and I remember that's how it started.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
I don't remember that.
That's crazy. That's weird. That's
So
anyhow,
they've been in there how long?
6 for 9 years. They hadn't I assume they had been out.
Never come out.
I don't know. I don't know if they had never come out, but I know they had never been seen in public. But I think they were hiding in there.
Is that because of 9/11?
Maybe. I don't know.
Something like that.
So this is the weird thing. This is the weird thing. Upon investigation, police found, this is out of the independent.uk. Upon investigation, they found 6 children who had been living in a hidden basement beneath a large farm buildings in their ailing father. A 58-year-old man, not the father of the children, was arrested at the farm.
Oh, what?
So his role is unclear. So he was there, but their father was sick. Their father was in the basement, sick. They had no outside contact with the world for 9 years.
Wow.
And they had no idea. They had no idea anyone other than the 58-year-old guy was living there.
So basically, they've missed Facebook.
Pretty much. They haven't missed a whole lot.
True.
They're very lucky.
They missed Brexit.
Secluded farm.
No, they haven't. It's not over yet.
Oh, wait. It's still not.
Right. So, yeah, secluded farm here. The 25-year-old.
Oh, I was hoping that was the name of the farm.
He was wearing old clothes. He ordered and drank 5 beers at a local pub before telling staff he needed help. He had no idea where he was or what he was doing. He said he had run away but needed help urgently. Long hair, dirty beard, wore old clothes, and looked confused. He said that he had never been to school and hadn't been to a barber in 9 years. So think about this, guys. He was 16 years old since the last time he had been off that farm. Police went to the house. They found a hidden staircase behind a cupboard leading down to the basement where the 7 people have been living.
That's weird.
It is super weird.
That is really weird.
Was that 58-year-old guy keeping them hostage? What was going on?
That's
if
so
you're
strange.
in a basement for the end of the world, and then it's 9 years have gone by, at what point are you the end of the world's not coming now?
Right.
Right.
It's super, super weird. So the father had allegedly had the symptoms of a stroke. The children were not registered anywhere and therefore not known to various authorities.
That's strange.
So it's not like they were missing children.
Right.
Their mother had died before they arrived there. There were living quarters in there. Obviously, there's still a whole lot of unanswered questions, but the neighbors are kind of freaking out.
How do you go off the grid like that without anybody noticing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because they must.
Yeah, because how old is the oldest kid? Like
25. 25 years old.
See, that's
right.
So he was
16.
14?
16.
16
when
9
they went in
years.
there. Yeah, sorry, did it backwards.
But like
so,
how? Like, what do you do with all your bills and property taxes and everything else? Because, like, by that time, they would have probably sold the property, right? Or is it?
I mean, I guess they disappeared.
Does somebody have?
It must be the old. Well, it must be the old guy was the one paid that they knew.
The 58-year-old guy,
owned it or whatever. Yeah.
So they were raising veggies and stuff on the farm to feed themselves. So they were obviously leaving the basement.
So they've been outside. They just haven't left this farm and had any contact with the outside.
Right. It was more like a creepy commune.
So it's
kind
of like what everybody's planning on doing. Like they sound like preppers who actually have done what they said they were going to do.
I guess, yeah.
Well,
most preppers aren't that weird.
Really?
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks,
Ozzy. How far are your nearest neighbors?
Well,
but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like they're just preppers who basically have just gone off grid, and now they've decided maybe because their dad got sick and isn't doing well that they can finally get away to back to normality, or maybe I don't know. Well,
so let me ask you this question here. I know we're going past time here. When does it change from, hey, we're just preppers, to possible child abuse of keeping your kids, holed up in a basement for 20 years or 9 years? Is it abuse? You guys, do we want to come back and talk about this? Because this seems pretty heavy. I don't know. I'm serious. Like this is huge.
Let's wait and ask Tombstone. He's
what are you implying with that?
What do you think, Tombstone?
we haven't heard from him for a while.
We haven't. No, like I'm serious. Is this abuse? Is it? What is it?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it though?
I think
that's hard.
I mean, are you keeping there by force?
Answer that in one sentence.
Okay. When we come back, let's talk about this and figure out if it's abuse or not.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we're back. Ethics of holding your kids. I don't want to call it hostage. Just holding your kids up in a house for like what?
If you say it that way, it makes it sound bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
So what is it? I mean, we had the same discussion a little bit back when we were talking about climate change, right, guys? I mean, when does it come a point when you've convinced your children that the world is ending, doomsday, like it's terrible, we're all going to die because we hate the planet, and Republicans are just, literally dumping gasoline in the water, causing faucets to burn. They're not, Ozzy.
I saw it on the Young Turks.
My faucet is not on fire.
Like when does it come? When comes the point when teaching your kids things that you think are values and valuable things becomes abuse?
Yeah, but you got to be.
I know.
You got to be careful with that, because then you're treading on a whole can of worms.
I mean, look, as a guy who is.
I would just like to point out that Ozzy just completely mixed his metaphors, and he is now treading on a can of worms. not
I feel
treading on
bad for the
thin ice.
worms.
He's not opening a can of worms. He is treading on a can of worms.
It's better than doing a worm burner.
We need to make a new T-shirt for the show that just has like that says "Don't tread on a can of worms" and has like a foot stepping on like a can with worms sticking out of it or something. I don't know. I just found that one really funny.
That's amazing.
Rock on. Here we go. All right.
So yeah, I like as guys, we're all religious guys.
Right. And you gotta be real careful because then you get into religious liberty.
I know.
The same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of times.
It's like some of my beliefs could be deemed, hazardous to my kids' health, I guess.
And then where do you get into who decides? What are you going to have, like a board of ethics?
Right.
To decide
some arbitrary.
I mean, isn't that what we're running into in like a bunch of countries?
I mean,
like,
I really trust Washington to make those decisions for me.
Right. Because doesn't Canada have a board of ethics or something like that?
Oh, I think they do because they were
the Human Rights Tribunal.
Right.
Exactly.
Or whatever for the whole, misgendering people and all that stuff.
Right.
Which is what brought about the whole Jordan Peterson stuff.
Just group this in with all that.
Yeah.
But I think the tough part, and this is why it's such a tough line to navigate when you're talking government intervention, is because it's kind of like I think there's a Supreme Court ruling, something to do with images and stuff on TV. I think pornography was part of it, but with like what stuff should be available to the public, what shouldn't. And essentially, the statement was made by the justice that I can't. He was referring to pornography in this case of I can't define it, but you know it when you see it, kind of thing. And it's almost like the same thing with children's like you're saying with what is abuse and what isn't. Like if you're being honest at all, the difference between like I'm some loony that hates your religion, so I'm going to call it child abuse because you teach your child these certain things in Sunday school, versus I've left a kid in a basement for 9 years telling him the world's about to end. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, absolutely.
You can't pick something because, like, if you say, well, if you tell a kid the world's about to end, then that's abuse. Well, then they can't ever have a Sunday school lesson on the Book of Revelation.
Right.
So like you can't pick a specific thing.
And what happens if you firmly believe that is what's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? Do you like, because that's the whole kind of thing of a lot of preppers get into also, where it's like they believe that the world and everything is going to come down, and you know what I mean. Especially we're talking extreme people. We're not talking about people, people like Aaron who are crazy and extreme.
I don't know if a firm belief is a good enough defense because I mean,
right. But I'm saying
these people might have firmly believed that things were so crazy they needed to not have contact with the outside world for 9 years.
Right. But you can get you can also get into.
I think the bigger question is this: in those 9 years, were there medical care? Was the kids' medical care were they abandoned?
Right?
Like,
were they being taken?
But then again, we've got families in the U.S. who do the same thing. We got families in the U.S. who do the same thing with medical care, though. Religious families who take a religious exemption for medical care.
Right.
But again, the difference is, are they dirty, malnourished, like not even receiving basic rudimentary medical care? Like, okay, your mom may believe in essential oils and whatever and not going to any doctor. I'm not talking about people that like use some oils or supplements. I'm talking
don't make
like
fun of essential oils. That's the new fossil fuel for the cars.
Literally, you can't do any modern medicine. It's all got to be old school. But I mean, if they're not even getting, anything, there's a difference between like I believe in only old school medicine and
bleaching.
I don't take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're locked in a basement and I don't take care of you.
Right.
And so the locked in a basement, I don't take care of you would be a very obvious line.
And that being said,
the line gets tougher when you get to that whole, like, I don't believe in modern medicine thing.
We keep saying locked in a basement. I mean, we don't know that they were unwillingly locked in a basement.
Right.
True. They were kept kept on the property. And they lived in the basement.
You know what this sounds like? What was the M. Night Shyamalan, The Village?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like what it sounds like. It's that type of thing where it's like, okay,
but
is that actually abuse? Is that something, you know what I mean? Like if you're still taken care of.
Maybe they weren't kept there by force, but were they kept there by mental manipulation?
Well, right, but you could make that argument in all cases then.
Right.
Which is scary.
Yeah. Right, and that's the hard part where there's not right. There is a line there, but because of the implications that it could have today, I think that line could easily be blurred and easily suck in a lot of non-threatening and non-abusive people.
Yeah.
Especially religious, I think is where it gets blurred, because you could look at a lot of Christianity, or even Muslims specifically also, but you get into a lot of religions that you could also define. You know that you're abusing your children because you're teaching them this, but you're not right.
You know, the Amish and the Mennonites and like that, depending on the level of whatever they allow. And it's part of their religion is all this stuff. So, you know, there could be issues with that.
Right.
So it's a tough line. It's a tough line. I think it comes back to, and this is unfortunate where you can't, and this is why you've got to keep a lot of the power out of the hands of the government, is because you know it when you see it. Also only works for people who are reasonable and moral. So
yeah. No, you're right.
The answer has to be, you know it when you see it, but you can't be everything I see that I don't like is it. Like, you've got to take a measured approach. And if people aren't willing to take that measured approach, then you got to keep it out of their hands.
It also gets into, depending on who's looking at it. That's the thing. You know,
what is your moral compass?
Right. And what do you agree with, and what do you disagree with? What do you think, is moral and not moral?
Which comes back to Jeff's point of limited government.
Yeah,
we got to have a limited government because we can't keep having this whole debacle.
The government is made up of these people, you know, of fallen people. So
I agree with you. Yeah, it's crazy stuff, guys. Abuse, probably not abuse, but
definitely weird.
Oh, without a doubt, weird. I mean,
definitely weird, maybe excessive.
Right.
I honestly thought when I saw the article headline, I just thought it was like Mathis's family Christmas letter or something.
We're not that weird. We're not that weird.
Things got awkwardly quiet after that laugh. You both did like a quick laugh, and then it just ended.
Well, we thought you were going to say something, Jeff.
It was like a crazy laugh.
You just tapered off. You're like
exit line.
Okay.
I mean,
Jeff did a real Brexit.
Ruined it. I'm gonna head out.
Oslin, were you there?
I wish I
was. Because that wow in the background has gotta be you.
Absolutely, I would have done it.
I mean, wouldn't any one of us?
I definitely would have done that.
Just somebody trying to be serious about a serious situation, and then somebody just wow like in the background. That's gotta be Oslin. Gotta
be. Guys, our next story takes us to L.A. And
I'm out.
Really, already that easy. Thank you, by the
said
way.
LA.
We were able to fix the audio technical difficulties on your end, and we have your beautiful voice.
I sound beautiful now?
Now,
if
see,
we can only fix the difficulties on your end, then everything would be great.
If only...
what now?
If only...
Just breaking out the fisticuffs.
See, your wife never would have married you if you were on a long-distance phone relationship with her.
Actually,
because the voice wasn't as good.
We definitely did that for.
Oh, really?
Would have married you. I don't think your wife would have married you because she would never have heard anything.
No, because we would have ordered her.
You'd have had the wrong wire plugged in.
It's the wrong wire.
And that's why he went with mail order.
That's right.
Oh.
Much easier checking a box. Much easier checking a box.
All you gotta do is put a stamp on that.
That's right. Couple stamps. Ship's priority.
This is why I think that's why they have SAT tests, so you can make sure you use the number 2 pencil when you're filling that form out. Fill in the dot all the way.
Have you noticed that never ever in your life has that skill from filling in Scantrons ever been useful?
Oh my god!
No, it's a complete waste of time. Let's be honest about it.
All right, where are we going?
LA. So this is an article I ran across in the Los Angeles Times, and it kind of weirded me out at first, but it kind of made sense to me. Basically, what people are doing is they are living in communal, buildings or whatever, communal living pods, and they are
a what?
What communal?
I don't
they're communal apartments.
But
it's
hostel?
like a regular sized apartment with 16 people living in it.
So it's like what is it? Japan does that, don't
Very similar to what I've heard airline pilots will use sometimes, like a crash pad almost.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that can happen, like an Airbnb type thing.
Right, but this is even worse. This is where you are allotted a tiny little cubicle to sleep in, and every other area in the place is communal.
Interesting.
So you end up with a little pod to sleep in that's barely big enough for a twin-size bed. So
this is called college.
Basically. Then you have communal areas with workspaces for office areas and stuff.
Interesting.
They end up with
basically it's a dorm.
Kind of.
It's like communal dorms.
Kind of, yeah.
Because that makes
it's
kind of like a hostel type. It's you have your little bed, and then everything else is.
Yeah, it's like dorm rooms
shared.
for adults.
Right.
And
because we can't get out of the college mentality because we paid so much money to it.
It's because everybody and their mother wants to live on top of each other in these ridiculous cities instead of getting out and owning property and owning a home.
And it's not like they're getting cheap rent. It's $945 for one of these cubicles.
Yeah, but that's cheap rent, man.
I guess.
Realistically, in LA, that is honestly. I'm not.
I don't know what rent is in. I don't know what rent is in LA, to be honest with you.
So what's the price per square foot?
I paid.
That's got to be ridiculous then.
Realistically, to buy a house in Los Angeles, you're looking at I think $500,000 for something super small.
So I rented.
That'd be tiny. A decent one's got to be over $1 million.
Oh yeah. So
I rented an Airbnb in LA for January, and it was quoted as
what were you
cozy.
doing in LA?
I will be in LA in January.
I see.
And so we rented an Airbnb in LA.
You better hope it's not one of these.
Well, I hope not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It said cozy. It said cozy, and that it would sleep 4 people.
Getting stuck
2 bedrooms
in the bed does not mean that you
that's cozy.
And so I'm sitting there going, I hope it's not one of these little pods here. I hope we didn't rent a pod like a.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, that was what $100.
You need to live stream.
I will.
You being stuck in it.
I will definitely.
Strange.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't think I could go back to that. It's way too much like dorm living again.
You literally might have more space on an international flight in the ultra first class, like Delta One or American Elite or whatever American calls their elite first class, or you know what I'm saying? You you might have more sleeping space in one of the, or like on some of the middle, like the Middle Eastern airlines on like the A380 with the really fancy.
What is the communal bed doing there? That's super weird.
I don't know.
Let's have a communal bed under the stairs.
I think it's
is it
just,
communal?
It's a place to lounge.
It's just a place to lounge, which I think houses should always have places to lounge. I'm a lounger. I like lounging.
That's
but it should be your house.
Yeah.
Well, right, not just a communal living space with 16 other people.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
okay, so here's the cool thing. For $945 a month, you have a gym, you have daily housekeeping, which means you don't have to clean up after yourself,
or the 16 other
people living with you. You have a shared kitchen, which most of these people are not cooking food anyways. They're living out. They're eating out all the time,
right?
Or having stuff delivered. So
it's like living on a cruise ship.
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, getting those services for that price in a city
that's nice.
Is not bad.
It's
just a living with like 16 other
like
people.
The chores and stuff like that.
There are no chores because they have housekeeping.
So what happens if you like? So what happens if you get like somebody
some nasty pig
absolutely hate? Can you like vote him out?
Can you vote him out of the
like
pod?
An episode of Survivor.
You know what I mean? Like, does this all of a sudden become like Lord of the Flies on your floor?
I don't. I was reading in the article, like some folks were saying that it's much better than just sharing a. They actually spend more time with their fellow roommates than if they had a regular apartment.
You know why? Because they've never had a regular apartment and don't realize how nice privacy is.
Yeah.
That's why.
I don't get it.
I couldn't do it.
No. I will take my house and my land and be alone on it.
I mean, Jeff, as much as I loved living with you, I think we both found it beneficial when we didn't live together.
Although we did,
it makes it that much sweeter.
We did have those awkward moments where our desks were right next to each other. So when we were the only
that
two
was
in the
so
room,
funny.
If we were doing homework and you walked in, we were just sitting.
We had what
next to each
we
other.
had two or 3 months where it was just the two of us in the room, and our roommate was gone at that point.
Our other roommate moved out, and he had the desk on the other side of the room, and Mathis and I had the desks that were next to each other, and we just kept our
desks
like moving our junk.
I
remember
walking into you guys' room and just staring at you. Because neither one of you would take the desk that was empty.
We didn't need to, though. We kept our stuff over there.
To be clear.
Because how hard would it have been to move it 6 feet over to the other desk?
To be clear, you walked into our room and stared at us at random times all the time. So that didn't faze us at all. When you
but at least
that's because I brought pizza. That's why. And wings.
So these rooms.
In giant trash bags.
It's true. In trash bags. But they were amazing trash bags.
But we
full of
hated
happiness.
it anyways.
It was like a trash panda Santa.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So for those of you who don't know, our rooms had 5 beds in them. Typically, it was three people in a room.
A double bunk and a triple bunk, but they usually put 3 in a room. Yeah.
And so you were across the room from me, so it's not like we were in the same set of beds.
Yes, I had the bottom of the double bunk. You had the bottom of the triple bunk.
That's
we
right.
had our own half of the room for everything else, but the desks were
yeah. So it wasn't that weird, but we just felt we needed together time every once in a while, and
I just had to do homework. That is all That's
the
reason I was there.
Right, of course. You weren't trying to find your next date or anything.
Let's be realistic, Mathis. Your desk wasn't actually a real desk.
No, it was on top of a freaking dresser.
On top of a dresser, and you pulled the drawer out and put a board on top of it.
So if anyone should have moved, it should have been you, and yet you stayed.
It's true. I didn't want to move. I liked you too much. We were cozy.
Oh boy, I need new friends.
This is why you had to mail order.
Oh my goodness. Alyssa's gonna kill you too. In your sleep.
Unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs.
She got them realtor eyes.
We're gonna flip this seat red in November.
I can always tell by realtor eyes. She got them.
I think she's living in banana land.
I am not the expert on geopolitics.
I think that there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right.
How are you the boss for coming up with a plan that doesn't work?
Is it okay to still have children?
I personally believe some people out there in our nation don't have that, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and
guys, I've seen some weird stuff in like life.
What is this video?
I've seen weird stuff in life. I had a sister who was very involved in horseback riding. And like I understand the dressage scene. I've never participated in it. I've ridden horses. You'd be shocked. I'm dang good at riding horses.
I would be shocked by that.
But
how good are you at hobby horse?
I'm not very good at a hobby horse. And by hobby horse, what he means is a horse head on a stick, riding it through a dressage course.
Well, hobby horses, literally, that's what that means. It's a horse head on a stick. Like, that's a hobby horse.
So these are those traditional horses that you get for like your kids that just has the horse head and the stick.
And then they trot around and pretend they're riding a horse.
Right,
yeah.
right. But this is like a whole new level.
This is
what teenagers doing it?
They're doing horse
teenagers
jumping.
doing dressage.
This is terrifying.
Well, it's not just dressage, because dressage is the dancing. Dressage doesn't involve the jumps, correct?
Oh, no, it does. It's all of it. I guess what do they call it? They call it hunter, whatever.
They do.
But they're also doing the dancing,
the hurdles and stuff. But they're doing the hurdles, and they're doing dressage, and they're doing the trotting.
You know what?
And they're like trying to.
Because there was one doing a high step too.
Actually,
the dressage steps. I saw that.
This, I've had a revelation. This is actually brilliant. Do you know why?
No, I have no idea.
I have a sister-in-law that is into horses. It costs a ton of money.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay,
so it's super cheap.
She's not even into this. Yes, this is the parents that are like, you know what? This is what we're going to make popular because it's cheap. It costs you $40 to make this stupid horse.
I'm surprised these kids are going for
this. The parents are like, if you can stick this out for a year, we will buy you a horse.
This is what we need to talk about is like, does this qualify as child abuse? Lying to your children that this is okay?
It's the most disturbing video I've ever seen.
Doing this.
This is so
I don't agree with that. It's not the most disturbing video I've ever seen.
Really?
It's just
it
really isn't. It really isn't. I follow politics. This is not the most disturbing video.
There was a video going around a couple months ago that was adults doing this.
Still not the most disturbing video I've ever seen.
No. This was really weird because it was two adults. It was two adults, and one was like leading a cart. A person was the cart horse.
Wait, was this a Vermin Supreme rally or something?
No. This is not free ponies for everyone.
See, folks, promise versus reality. When you hear that promise, free ponies for everyone, this is the pony you're actually going to be getting.
It's true. This
is what happens when it's a free government program. Except that it's not even going to be a pony. When it shows up, it's going to have like a cat head on it, and then it's going to fall apart in 3 days.
I would like a unicorn one personally. Can we make that happen? Oh my goodness!
I mean, these kids are doing like serious jumps here in the video.
But I've never.
This really looks
I didn't
like
know kids were still in.
Is this a thing?
Apparently, it's got a video.
It's got a video, but is this like legit a thing? Like, can you?
It is legit a thing. It said, I think, 1,000 people attended this. So for 1,000 people or 1,300 people, this is the thing.
This is in Finland, okay?
Of course it is.
This is in Finland.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Is this headed up by that girl from...
it's an annual championship in Finland.
This is so strange.
Okay. Horsenetwork.com. Welcome to the world of competitive hobby horse.
Guys, this is a competitive sport with 10,000 competitors in Finland alone.
I guess this is better than having your kids do pole dancing as a sport.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
It is. It's a different use of a pole that's a lot better.
Different pole, yeah.
I think it's
so.
You're also
New York Times article from April of this year.
Too.
Finland's hobby horse girls, once a secret society, now prance in public.
secret's out.
They take this seriously.
Later that night, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Later that night, Miss Flippa, 16 years old, packed her 2 horses in the back seat of her black compact car and drove home to her parents' house. 10,000 athletes and followers, equestrian jumping and dressage on hobby horseback.
This definitely should have stayed a secret society.
Guys, I'm watching these videos and I'm like, these people are serious.
There's like entire gyms dedicated to this. There's
they are
watching,
serious.
there's judges sitting there. This is interesting.
I really don't know what to do with this.
They're so serious. Like this is real. How can this be real?
I do not know. I don't know.
It's like okay, guys. So this is like
in Finland.
This is like ballet. This is like ballet. I'm watching them do the dressage thing, right? This is like ballet, but it's
with a hobby horse.
With a hobby
dressage
horse.
is ballet with a real horse,
right? And so I guess my question is this.
I think this is just an elaborate hoax by the parents to keep their teenage daughters and sons from, well, I'm assuming daughters, I don't see any males, from actually purchasing.
You're assuming a lot of
You're
genders.
assuming genders here.
You're assuming
You're not allowed to do that.
I'm sorry. That's Tombstone at the front porch show.
This is very, very bizarre. So I want to know. Okay, I want to know. Like, I'm going to try my hardest to get on one of these competitors. I need to talk to one of them.
Oh, I want to know. Do it. I was
no.
I was like, yes, we need video of Mathis competing.
Yes,
no,
we will pitch in and buy you a hobby horse.
I need to know. Like, this girl had 2 hobby horses, right? I need to know. Like, is there a difference from one horse to the next horse? Like, is one horse better at dressage and the other's better at jumping?
Yes. Why would you think that it wouldn't be?
Well, that's my question. Are there?
What is the matter with you?
Like, are they serious role playing these horses?
No, they don't role play them. They're serious. Like I'm sure one is less wind resistant than the other one, probably because of weight, type of material that the handle is made out of. Oak as opposed to ash.
I just want to say
there's a lot of stuff here, man. Take this seriously, all right?
Come on.
I'm tired.
This is going to replace the NFL in 5 years.
I'm tired of the joking that is happening right now.
Guys, here's one girl making a homemade hobby horse.
Oh, wait, they aren't all homemade?
No, they're not.
There's somebody that gets paid to do this?
That's impressive, dude.
Like this is a girl who's building her own horses.
I mean, is it that hard?
The hobby is now a celebrated national export.
Yes, I definitely think it's that hard. Can you knit or sew something that looks like a horse head? I can't.
There is a documentary called The Hobby Horse Revolution. Tell me this is on Netflix.
I doubt it.
I hope so.
Oh, I hope so.
That could be exciting.
Hobby Horse Revolution. Where do we watch this? Oh, it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh no!
There you go.
It's on Prime.
Mathis will be watching.
Homework for this week. I will be watching the Hobby Horse Revolution as much as I possibly can. Let's be honest with you about it.
Also, consider this, guys. Hobby horses are environmentally friendly.
Yeah, I said that like 3 minutes ago.
No methane. No, I didn't hear it. Of course, as long as you use environmentally friendly dyes to color the cloth.
Yeah, but you're chopping down trees, man.
Those poles are harvested sustainably.
Right. It's driftwood from the archipelago of Finland.
You could probably make one out of straws.
Ooh, all those straws floating in the ocean. We can use those
with a turtle head on it.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
This wars off smells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where to go. I want to go. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
Apparently, Florida man wanted the gold this week. Or actually, not this week. I guess this is an old story.
This is an old story. I don't think we've covered it.
We haven't.
I don't recall covering it. Anyway.
But it definitely deserves an honorable mention because Florida man's an idiot.
It's hilarious.
This happened. What's the date on this article? Just
January 29.
Okay, so this is back January. So this is 10
yeah.
almost 11 months ago now.
Right.
And so this is Peter Emery. Looks like a class act. He was caught on video taking pills from a lockbox. Any guesses what county he was in? You may have seen him on live PD.
It is Pinellas County or whatever.
It is.
It's a live
Pinellas
PD
County. It is Pinellas County. He was caught on video taking pills from a lockbox. He thought he was taking hydrocodone acetaminophen.
So
opioids.
An opioid.
Right.
A painkiller.
Right. Yeah. But was that what he was getting? No.
So.
No, he was getting laxatives. Equate general laxatives. An over-the-counter medication to help relieve constipation. So hold on.
Just so that you know that you're getting hard-hitting investigative reporting from the USA Today, because that's where this article is.
Yes.
Finish that sentence you were reading. The pills were Equate gentle laxatives, an over-the-counter medication that can help relieve constipation, according to the product's listing on Walmart's website.
Well, we're not too sure.
Okay.
So that's some hard-hitting, I am glad they dug into the background of what Equate gentle laxatives
I need to know some details on this. Why is this guy stealing pills from a lockbox? Where is this lockbox?
So here it is. It's his roommate. It's his roommate there's actually some genius here by his roommate. His roommate suspected that this guy was stealing his pain medication, so he swapped out pills with his pain medication to see. So he thinks his pills are getting stolen, throws a couple laxatives in there. Pretty soon his roommate is blowing up the toilet, and there's your evidence.
Wait for the results. Wait for the results.
This sounds like a genius idea until you figure out what the what the result is going to be, and the fact that you have to clean.
That's at that point you just throw that to his list of crimes, and
See, this would work perfectly if you were in LA and you were in one of those cramped spaces where you have somebody cleaning for you.
Good point.
I thought you were going to say in wherever the streets are just full of it, but
that too. That too.
This is amazing.
This is hilarious.
So,
this guy does not look like he would. Yeah. Know your pills, people.
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't learn anything else from the Front Porch Show, know your pills, people.
If he had previously been taking the pills, and then there's different pills,
they magically look super different.
He upgraded them. Wham! Let's do this.
This must be the good stuff.
Bad.
I mean,
it's so bad.
So he was arrested, thrown into jail, and probably got out of jail. It's felony charges apparently because it's opioids. Interesting.
Did he take opioids though?
They have no evidence that he stole opioids.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
So it's just petty theft.
So wouldn't this be entrapment? Wouldn't that be entrapment then?
No, there's no entrapment. It's still petty theft. He still took something from somebody else. He just didn't get the result he wanted.
Okay.
There's no entrapment there. He didn't entice him to steal anything. The guy just thought he was stealing opioids and stole laxatives.
Gotcha.
There's no enticement.
Gotcha. Okay. So you know the law better than I do. Makes sense. You're the one who plays a lawyer on the radio.
I
Not
try.
me.
I try.
Okay.
Handle on the law. Oh, wait. Okay.
Jeff on the law.
Yeah. I can't stand that guy, to be honest.
What is this? Florida man runs into neighbor on a tractor?
All right.
Florida man, thank you. I just want to. My hat is off. Thank you, Florida people. We love you.
This is going to be like almost like a boomer Florida man kind of thing. Is my personal thinking.
Did this guy move to Florida from next door to Rand Paul? I mean, or because it sounds like he's just attacking his neighbor.
Oh,
and it's over
man.
a property dispute. So I just wonder if
here we go. We got property dispute. So apparently these two dudes were on their tractors. I guess disputing property of some type. I don't know if it was like deciding where one dude was going to mow and the other dude wasn't. I have no idea. So, Mr. Florida man here, let's see, Charles Jerkins.
Yeah, you should.
Nice name. Nice name.
Right name.
It's that way the whole way through. It's not supposed to be Jenkins. It's Jerkins.
Hey,
Jerkins,
guess where this one is, Jeff?
Pasco County?
Pasco County.
It is Pasco County.
Oh, Florida, we love you.
So this guy gets so ticked off at his neighbor who's sitting on his tractor. So they're both on tractors.
Whoa.
Decides that he's going
We've got a tractor duel?
They're both on tractors,
so
yes.
decides
Not hobby horses, tractors.
He is going to run into his neighbor with his tractor because he is so pissed off.
Oh, this is amazing.
Knocks the man off his tractor, jumps on top of him, starts beating him, and then drops a 10-foot pole on his neighbor's leg.
Okay, it says he drops a log on his victim's leg, so I'm thinking like a log. The log was 10 foot long and 2 feet in diameter.
So it must have been on the tractor, right? It was on the tractor.
How do you just pick up a 10-foot log and drop it on somebody?
It must have been. He must have been beating him and then dropped the log off the tractor onto him.
Maybe it's like that mother thing where it's like the mother gets adrenaline, can pick up the car.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. That's insane.
This seems
Florida man is a superhero, so he does have strength that
not
everyone necessarily has. So that could explain it.
So I think
such a boomer dispute. It's hilarious. The fact that it took place in Florida. What
they just ran each other with mowers. I love it.
I could just see these two old dudes sitting on their tractors, and one dude just gradually gets closer to the other dude with his tractor, and they're just both, having at it and everything else. I was hoping that they were like in a duel or something.
Demolition derby.
Boom! Just ran into each other. It's probably people that have known each other for years. And this is like a 20-year-old dispute.
And they've been arguing about this 2-foot wide strip of grass.
Right. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys, and oh my god!
Like, were they fighting over the log? Like, was the log seriously?
They were.
Like, seriously, did the log fall on the wrong property? And they're like, hey.
I don't know. I still want to know how you drop pick up and drop a 10-foot.
Okay,
log.
so I think he had the 10-foot log on his tractor, dropped it on the neighbor because that looked like it came first in the story, and then then when the victim fell off the tractor. Because it says Jerkins, who lives next door to the victim, used his own tractor to drive into the victim's tractor. Jerkins then dropped the log onto the victim's legs. The log was 10 foot long, 2 feet in diameter.
So maybe they were dragging the log.
The
back.
victim.
What kind of tractors are these? These are
no.
Lawn tractors.
He picked it up in a loader. Like this is on a loader.
Yeah, they don't make it sound like these are big old tractor loaders. This isn't. I'm thinking like 42-inch.
No. This is a bigger tractor.
Oh no, you're right. Because he says the victim was using a tractor to remove a log from an easement beside his home.
Yeah.
So they're probably not huge tractors, but they're tractors with the log. So the victim had the log attached to his own tractor.
Right.
The other guy rammed him with his tractor and then dropped the log off the victim's tractor.
And then when the guy fell off the tractor, Jerkins then pummeled him. What a tool. Absolute tool.
It's so bad. Only in Florida, man. Thank you, Florida.
Ben's loving it, though. Ben's loving it.
I think it's hilarious.
Hey, Florida.
I think it is a funny story overall.
I mean, look,
you can't say it without laughing because of
only
in Florida.
Alabama sits there and there's like, hey, at least we're not Mississippi. Well, Florida's there, or Georgia's there saying, hey, at least we're not Florida. I mean,
everybody's saying at least we're not Florida.
Woo!
Guys, final story here.
Oh my goodness.
Guy jumps off a radio tower with a base jumping off a radio tower and gets tangled in the guy wires.
That's a bad idea, and that's exactly why that's a bad idea.
Where is Menominee?
There's a Menominee in the.
Isn't that
peninsula?
Isn't that Wisconsin?
I think that's a Muppet thing.
There might be one in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's Wisconsin near Eau Claire.
This one's Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah, this is Wisconsin. So
this is Wisconsin, where cheese is cheese.
Which is it? Yeah, it must be. It looks like Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's Wisconsin.
Anyway, so the guys, Eau Claire's own. This is WQOW.com. Guy jumps, 20 years old, Mason Barth, called 911 when he got caught about 50 feet above the ground.
He must have had good reception.
Oh, I bet.
No, it would have been worse is if he didn't have reception because it wasn't his carrier's tower.
Yes. Every day of my life.
Oh, man.
It took authorities roughly 1 hour to free him and get him to the ground safely. He's been arrested, obviously, for criminal trespass and, just being an idiot.
The dude just wanted the base jump.
I know, right? Have you seen those crazy guys?
This guy got 250 feet down before he hit those wires.
Yeah,
he hit the guy wires down right at the bottom. Yeah,
I mean,
he must have drifted into him or something.
No.
No.
Look, on the article, there's a pair. His pair.
Yeah, it got wrapped because he nailed it.
He got wrapped around it, but I mean, he obviously didn't jump straight into him because he didn't hit him where they attached the tower. So he must have drifted a little bit sideways. He was
probably circling the tower, trying to not go too far away from it because he's probably planning on doing it again or something.
I mean, guys, you got 33 degrees though.
Circle in that.
You got 33 degrees, right? I mean, when you're base jumping, you're throwing your shooting and going.
Right.
Like it's super dangerous. I mean, he's lucky the chute even opened and he caught the guy wire.
In 300 feet, I'm surprised.
Yeah, is that even possible?
Even did much. I don't know.
I've never base jumped.
The last time I base jumped, it was I got nothing.
Like base jump height minimum, what is it? Like
honestly, I would bet it's like 150 feet. Because you got people jumping off of buildings, like 300-foot building it's tall, but like that's not that uncommon.
I mean, I know people have jumped off like One World Trade Center.
Yeah.
So I remember when that happened. Skydiving, you're jumping from like 10,000 feet, right? And then deploying your parachute at 3,000 to 5,000 feet.
110 feet.
110 feet
is the world record.
That seems really dangerous.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy though.
So I would suspect probably a safe height is probably around 300 feet.
I mean,
guess.
Can we just throw that out there as in quotes a safe height?
Right.
Because it doesn't seem like any of this is safe.
Maybe the normal minimum height to not try and literally kill yourselves.
Did you know that base jumping was actually banned? According to this article, according to one article I'm looking at,
really,
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
article.
it says it's illegal.
Wow, thank you for that.
Probably because people just try to
hitting facts there, but not
base
telling anybody.
Base jumping. Okay, this is over here. A different Wikipedia article.
There's absolutely no facts have confirmed this.
Yeah, no.
Wikipedia.
Base jumping itself is generally not legal in most places. However, in many cases, such as buildings and antenna jumps, it's done covertly.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, because the owners are reluctant to allow it to be used as a platform. Jumpers who are caught will be charged with trespassing, as well as breaking and entering. All those fun things, beside the fact of, climbing up to the top of a tower and jumping.
All right. One more before we go, because I saw this earlier this week, and then I was reading about some base jumping and found an article about base jumping, and this was right below it. It was the next article. So have you seen this guy? Apparently he had like moles or bugs or something in his backyard. And so he got the idea to fill the pathway. I don't know if it's an anthill or a mole like hill that he's trying to get rid of here. But the Twitter, it's on Twitter. It's a video. I put the link in there. It says boom. Let's just, I love the Twitter caption. It says, dude went to Yosemite Sam's school of how to deal with critters. So I guess he went with the classic pour some gasoline down the hole and try to light it. So he's like throwing matches, trying to light it. His beagle is just chilling there in the background.
Oh, this is bad.
Backyard.
Oh,
Boom.
no.
It's a tiny backyard.
This is like
he blows up the
literally like a
entire
15
backyard.
It's probably 25 feet by 25 feet his backyard.
Maybe if that.
small.
He is tossing matches at this
a hole that he's presumably filled with gas.
It's filled with gasoline. Oh!
Half the yard, literally half the yard, probably 5 inches deep.
The dog
just
is like,
blows up.
The dog is like, no, and runs into his little house.
Yeah, there's 2 beagles in the backyard. They're just chilling the whole time he's doing this, and when it blows up, they're just like,
that was a big hole.
He may have cracked the side of his house too. Yeah, look at the bottom right corner.
Look at him walking away. He looks around the corner of the house like, hey, the neighbor's watching.
Oh no, actually that crack's there. Never mind. I thought the crack on the house there in the bottom right corner showed up.
Oh man.
But it was already there.
That launches dirt incredibly high.
Oh yeah. It goes over his head, right?
But the problem is from his video camera.
It launched probably 7 feet in the air.
It's probably about 10 wheelbarrow loads full of dirt that got lifted up and moved.
I mean, just a massive explosion.
I mean, he's got the wheelbarrow right there too.
His HOA must be freaking out.
He's the guy you really don't want.
He's the reason HOAs exist.
Oh my word, guys!
That's incredible. I like this. This is great.
So that one, I had seen that earlier this week, and I was thinking about including it, and it popped up right there, and I was like, "This is a sign."
I got some ideas for the moles in my backyard now.
It's like I know how we're dealing with varmints now. Wow, guys, that's it for today.
Brilliant.
Ozzy, Just Jeff, Mathis here. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play, Google Podcasts, iTunes. Did I say that already? I don't know. We're even on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on everything. We're everywhere you might want to be and some places you don't want to be. We'll catch you next week, guys.
Where we might change the name of the show to Technical Difficulties.
Hopefully next week we have everything ironed out, man.